Welcome back, Twaggers. I'm your host, Nakia Driver, and I am joined here by Sam Brasfield to bring to you another episode of Twag. So, how was your spring break, Sam?
Oh, well, Nakia, it was a great, well-needed break, and I got my second win, and I'm ready to knock out the second half of this semester. How about you?
I agree. After a week, I feel refreshed, recharged, and ready for another episode of Twag. So, what do you have for us today?
Well, thank you, Nakia. First up, the GSU Dance Company pays homage to the undisputed king of pop. Come witness a tribute performance like no other as we celebrate the music of the one and only Michael Jackson. The show features performances from the GSU Dance Company and Fatal Dance. The show takes place this Thursday, March 28th at 7:30, and tickets are on sale in the CPA and online as well. For more information, please email the GSU Dance Company at gsuvisiontheater@outlook.com. Tickets are going fast, so get yours before it's too late.
On Friday, March 29th, the Student Activities Council will be hosting a talent show. Not only does the event provide a fun night of entertainment, but it also helps us find the act to perform at this year's spring concert. Auditions were open to everyone, from singers, rappers, and poets to dancers, magicians, and even comedians. So there's no telling what's in store. The only way to find out is to come to Sherman Hall this Friday night. There isn't a charge for this event, but you do have the option to RSVP. So for more information, email the Student Activities Council at sac@govst.edu or give them a call at 708-235-7609. The show starts at 7 p.m. sharp, so don't be late.
For all filmmakers out there, the Chicagoland International Film Festival is still accepting submissions. The next deadline is Sunday, May 28th, and will be costing about $14 to $15 depending on your submission. The competition will be accepting a narrative and documentary short films from high school and college students as well as professional filmmakers. GSU also has the luxury for its students to receive an additional 20% off using the promo code GSUStudent19. For more information about the guidelines and categories, visit gsu.edu/CSIFF. The competition takes place this September in the Center for Performing Arts, and we would love to see some of our GSU filmmakers there.
April 2nd is World Autism Awareness Day. GSU Intellectual Life is inviting the entire GSU community to come to join us in a very special forum and Q&A about autism and how we can make GSU a successful option for adults with autism. So please join us in a conversation moderated by GSU Senior Lecturer Michael Hart. GSU guest speaker include Dr. Scotty E. Wakely, Bradley Bourbonnais, and Robin Sweeney. This event takes place in Ingerson Hall from 3:30 to 5 p.m. For more information, feel free to email gsulibraryinfo@govst.edu. Come play a part in making GSU a better place for everyone.
Here at GSU, many of our students are first-generation college students, which means they're the first in their home or their family to pursue a four-year degree. We decided to dive in and see what that feels like to be in their shoes.
GSU is known for its diversity. With that comes people from all walks of life. One thing that connects these array of students is the fact that many of them are the first in their families to attend college. We connected with some first-generation college students to discuss what it is like to be the first in their family to pursue secondary education.
When coming into college, I wish I had more family that could sort of direct me into, the right path. So I really didn't have that direction, or that person to talk to, say, hey, what's the best step to take? What should I do first?
Just more knowledge about college, like the small things, whether it was, knowing how to go about applying for scholarships, knowing which loans to accept and which loans not to accept. Just the small things that make a big difference.
GSU is constantly looking for more ways to make these students transition into higher education more smooth. As a part of the Student Affairs Division of GSU's Reaching Vision 2020 plan, the school plans to start a TRIO program. We talked to Christy Goodwin, the director of GSU's College Pathways program, who is leading the TRIO initiative.
The Student Activities Council needs our help. Our social work students are heading to Springfield for advocacy, but they need some money for travel. In an effort to raise money, the SAC will be throwing a fundraiser today. Come to the Hall of Governors today from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. to buy a walking taco and a beverage. Every penny earned from the fundraiser gets our students that much closer to Springfield. So grab a friend and come support this great cause. For more information, the Student Activities Council at sac@govst.edu is where you can be reached, or you can contact them at 708-235-7609. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on these tasty walking tacos.
When we get back from this short break, we'll be giving you an update on the expansion of the athletics program right here at GSU.
As some of you may know, Governor State expanded their athletics program last fall by announcing the addition of both a men's and women's soccer team for this upcoming season. With the rapid success of their basketball program over the past 3 years, it's hard to temper expectations for GSU's inaugural year in the sport of soccer. March 8th marked a significant day for the infant program as Zoe Langlois became the first recruit to commit to becoming a Jaguar. Zoe said she was humbled by being the first woman to commit to their club, and as a result, she is eager for the season to start and prove herself to her teammates and coaches. The senior midfielder from Bourbonnais helped lead her high school to a 17-5 and 2 record last year, earning all Southwest Suburban Conference honors in the process. This past Monday reunited Zoe with former high school teammate Avery Fountain, who became the second recruit to join the GSU program. As both a soccer and cross-country athlete, Avery relies on her speed and stamina to impact the game. The two girls will look to become the fundamental pieces to the Jaguars' success this upcoming season and earn the trust of head coach Ante Kopp, who was also present for the signings. Kopp has made no attempt to hide his excitement for Avery and others joining the program, while expressing his optimism on bringing a winning culture to GSU's soccer program ASAP. With spring finally among us, we're just a few months away until the soccer season kicks off on September 21st against Roosevelt University. So if you think you have what it takes to lead the Jaguars to victory, roster spots are still available for both clubs. For more information on the recruitment process, please visit gsujaguars.com/recruiting.
Coming to you from Studio B, this is Jaguar Living 101, where we lend advice and life hacks to college students to make your life a little easier. I'm your host, Mark Tyler, and today we are going to talk to Jillian Lee about time management skills to help your semester run smoothly.
Hey guys, it's Jill. And as a college student, one of the most challenging things for me is learning how to manage all of the things that I have going on. What helps to ensure that I get to class on time is preparing the night before. I set out the clothes, books, and supplies that I may need for the following day. I could also shower in the evening to alleviate the hassle in the morning, but I know some people swear by showering in the morning, and that's okay. The thing is, you want to get a constant rhythm going. Another way to stay in control of my schedule is to wake up early. Trust me, I know sleep is everything, but when I wake up early, I have a great head start on the day ahead of me. The additional time I have in the morning helps me create a habit of creating a to-do list. And if you don't like writing things down, well, there's an app for that. In that list, I would include deadlines and time limits for each task. That's what helps me with self-discipline. And it also gives me the opportunity to schedule breaks in between tasks so I won't feel overwhelmed. The best thing I can do for good time management is prioritize. I would suggest that you alleviate any distractions distractions like putting away your phone and finding a quiet place to study. And finally, guys, learn to say no. I know the activities the school has to offer are too hard to miss, but for the sake of your sanity, try to avoid putting too much on your plate. That's all for now, guys.
Thanks, Jillian. That wraps it up for today. Hope this advice was helpful to you guys. Look out for our next episode. May your mind be positive and your day be productive. This is Mark Tyler signing off. Happy studying.
Let's hear now. Welcome back. I am here with my guest, Miss Yvette Brown, and thank you very much, Ms. Brown, for being here so much with us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, absolutely. Now, for starters, for those who don't know and that are watching, can you explain to us what Respond to Violence is?
Well, Respond to Violence is a multimedia initiative that I started about 6 years ago here at Governor's State, and it gives voice to those impacted by violence in our GSU community, in our Southland Chicago community, and it is full of stories and video testimonials, and also we've done a few shows that have aired on WTTW. We have a relationship with PBS here in Chicago.
That's wonderful.
So it's a multimedia, videos, stories, writing, everything across the platform.
Okay, so that's excellent. By the way, what inspired you to start Respond to Violence?
Well, about 6 years ago, I'm trying to remember, maybe 2014, my son lived in Bronzeville and was heading home from the store, and they shot up his car. He was just, you know, he's an adult, he was a child, and they just were running to the store. Luckily, he was by himself. He was hit in the arm. He was injured, but thankfully, he survived that.
Thank God.
And as a family, you wonder, what can you do to help? You know, it was pretty shocking and startling, and it comes out of nowhere, as you well know, just an ordinary day.
Yeah.
So I thought, what could I do? I'm a media producer, so I thought maybe we could do something with our community here with what I know how to do, which is produce media stories and give voice and story to people who have been impacted by violence in their lives and their families. So.
That's excellent. A lot of people, like you said, who are impacted by that violence, they don't have that in their community, so they go out and they find other things to do, and they end up being a victim or a product of violence themselves. That's excellent. We don't have many things like that. I'm glad that you are bringing that to our community. So can you tell us about the Respond to Violence page right here at GSU?
Well, we have a website, so it's linked off of the Civic Engagement Center's page. So if you go to the Civic Engagement Community Service Center here at GSU, there's a link that says Respond to Violence. You click it and you'll go to our website. In the process of actually taking it and integrating it more into the website for Governor's State, because it belongs to the school. Yes. It's one of our community outreach and service initiatives for our students and for our community. So you would find it there. Okay. The link is live. You go, and hopefully people will visit and see what's there that they can relate to, what tells their story.
So if I'm a new student from GSU, I can go right to our website and look at this stuff.
Yes, if you go to that page, the Civic Engagement, the Center's page, then click and you can look at everything we've produced in the last 6 years.
Oh, wow. That's excellent. So what is your, as you said, you've done it for the last 6 years, so now you're going into a decade coming up in the next 4 years, I know. What is your long-term plan for Respond to Violence?
Well, my hope is that we do so many things here at Governor's State relating to violence, helping those who are impacted, doing community service. Many of our students have this as a part of their life. They've been hurt or their family members have been hurt. So I'm hoping that I'll get more engagement across the different programs, the different colleges. You know, we've worked with theater, we've worked with media studies, we've worked with social justice and sociology,
you guys been around,
social work. So as a school, we're trying to do more things to help the community and work with the community. So I'm hoping to expand it. And that students themselves, some of my media study students, some of you who are right here in the studio can produce pieces that will appear on the website. Oh, wow. So it gives it a long life too. You know, websites are kind of forever, what you put on the internet.
Yeah, that information is kind of out there forever. So I know this next one might be a little repetitive because you already did mention one of your previous stories, but is there a particular story or event that happened since you started Respond to Violence that you don't mind sharing with us, something that really helped you kind of not quit on what you're doing, kind of push you forward, other than your original testimony you gave us earlier?
Well, that was the reason I started it, but when you start something, it takes on a life of its own. So it's very rewarding when I hear from people who've either seen the site or who've come to one of our productions, because, you know, we do the productions right here in the studio, and we have live audiences sometime, and they come, and the Pendleton family have been here, the whole families, many families from Chicago and the surrounding area, and they like to talk about how it was cathartic to be able to tell their story. Some of our students who have lost loved ones, they have been in the audience able to tell their stories, and it's helpful. And I like hearing that in some small way it helps that you can talk about how violence has impacted you and what you're trying to do to prevent it. So it's always wonderful connecting with the people who see my work.
Absolutely. It is, as an artist myself, it is something to connect with people. You know, they connect with what you just gave to them. So I do know that feeling.
Because you don't do it for yourself, you do it for others. Yeah.
You don't. That's a lot of people don't realize. When I came into it, I just thought, oh, maybe I'm just going because I want to be. No, you're doing it for a lot more reasons. You just don't see it yet. So for people a lot around town, they come to your events, they share their stories. How do you see these how do you hope these videos help people? How do you feel like the videos that you put online affect people who watch them?
Well, we do something called the Speaker's Corner, and it's usually made up of our students who come in specifically to talk about stories and events. And other students watch them, because sometimes you need to know you're not alone, or how you feel, others feel the same way, and they tell how they deal with how things have impacted them, how they feel, how they've worked through their different issues. And there's a lot of good work here. You know, we have social workers and counselors that work with the students. So we kind of share information, and that information gets out to others. Because sometimes you think you're very alone in different events of your life, and hopefully you see something that reflects back for you. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. No one wants to feel alone, especially when they're going through something
That's
dark
right.
as violence. So if someone has a story that they want to tell and they want to share, how would they go about to do that when it comes to your group?
Well, they would email me at this point, ybrown@govst.edu.
Y'all listening, Y Brown, let's repeat that one more time.
ybrown@govst.edu.
Okay.
Right here on campus. You can send me an email. You know, you can reach out that way. We're always interested in hearing from students in our community. And if they need to find that again, if they go on the website, the contact information is there too.
Okay, excellent. You've heard it here first. You know where to contact Ms. Brown. So Ms. Brown, one more. A lot of times these stories can be very sensitive and hard for people to share. So how do you make sure that they feel comfortable enough to continue and share their stories?
Well, we recently did some tapings in the studio with some of the students on some stories they wanted to share. And we try to make it a safe space, because you say it in your voice the way you want to, and at any time you're uncomfortable, we stop. It's tape. You know, we can start again. And if I try to talk very carefully with someone if they want to talk about something that's happened to them, to make sure they're ready to talk about that. And if they're not, we also have a counseling center here. So sometimes you need to go there first before you're ready to talk.
Talk about that.
So we try to make sure when we pre-interview everyone that they are, what point in their life they're at for what they want to share.
That's very interesting. A lot of people may not know that they're not ready to share it, but they want to share it.
Right.
So they got to get ready. I like that.
Yeah.
Like that. You all really do think of everything. So what would you like to say to anyone that's watching that's struggling with violence or anything in their life?
Whenever major events like violence, whether it's gun violence, domestic violence, dating violence, sexual violence, there's all kinds of violence that happen to men and women, it's important to know that you should always seek help. It's so important to have someone to talk to about what has happened to you so you can process it. Because when you don't process it, it comes back on you in many different ways. You know, it's very stressful, and it's something that we have services here at the school that you can reach out and go to. It's free to students here, and I hope that students make that, go and, because that's available to you. And anyone who comes to talk with me, I make sure that they know that there's someone here who will work with you, who will help you. So you're never alone.
And it's confidential.
It's always confidential.
So
always, always, always.
That's excellent. I actually didn't know we had that in our school.
You have your student counseling center where you get your health services right here on campus.
Excellent. Well, that is actually all the time that I have for you today, Ms. Brown. And we thank everyone for listening to us. And please check out the Response to Violence. We have the page online, and Ms. Brown will be very helpful to talk to you all. But from everyone here at Studio B and at Governor's State, we thank you for watching us. So please join us again for another exciting episode of Twag. Wait for it. You have just been twagged. See you next week. We clear?